Folks, welcome back. This hobby is cooked. Plain and simple. Not clickbait, not trying to elicit any kind of a reaction or response or comment. I'm just going to give it to you straight. And if you think you're scared, you probably should be. I'm terrified. I am personally terrified. I don't think we ever see the hobby we remember from a year ago or more. I truly believe that. The amount of people that I met this weekend and the amount of friends that I already had in the industry, a lot of which are seven-figure, if not multiple seven-figure sellers, and the conversations we had, the things I saw, the things I heard, tell me we are actually experiencing a secondary boom inside of a boom we're already in before that one even ended. The amount of people that I talked with that had only been in the hobby for 3 to 4 months and had more than I had in my first 3 to 4 years in the hobby was alarming, astronomical. And now let me tell you this. The people out there that are feeding you these lies that, well, all these people are just irrational, right? They're all just nerds who are blowing all their money and racking up credit card debt and they don't know what they're doing. It's dead wrong. The individuals I met were, one, very good entrepreneurs at this point because some of the people that were vending were already controlling half sections at Collecticon, had all the tables filled, had well over 6 figures in inventory, and had been in the hobby for 3 to 4 months. And they were telling me how well they were doing. They were telling me their numbers. Alarming. One of the guys I went out to dinner with, he's one of the ones that won a Z&G auction recently for a $270,000 first edition base set Charizard. It's been in the hobby 3 to 4 months. And let me tell you this, the other cards he had with him added up to much more than what that Charizard was worth. Gives you an idea of the level of collection, investments, inventory he already has in that short amount of time. And from talking with everybody, all these people know exactly what they're doing. They're very well capitalized. They understand business. They understand investing. They won't be shaken out by short-term price moves on products. And they are here for the long term. And they see the opportunity in this hobby and they believe in it. And they don't care about the price memory that some of us have of the past. They don't care what stuff used to go for 2 years ago or 4 years ago. They care about operating in today's market and operating with things you can control. And they're doing very well at it. Not just that. I don't know if you guys saw a video that I posted of Kevin O'Leary, the Shark Tank investor, talking about how wrong he was about Michael Rubin and Fanatics and how this asset class, he called it an asset class of trading cards, right, was only going to grow. And he was looking into it very seriously for investment. Guys, I understand it's fun on YouTube to, listen to all the nonsense and think everybody's just racking up credit cards and in debts and doesn't know what they're doing and is spending way too much on this stuff. The reality is there is very, very real money, very sophisticated individuals, very well capitalized individuals, and large amounts of money being deployed, both in modern and vintage, with the purpose of investing because they understand the gains that are possible in this hobby. That's the first thing. Second thing is, you have equal amounts of confidence right now from the buyers and the sellers. That's scary. You know what that means? Prices are only going up. If the buyers are still willing to pay the prices that the sellers are willing to list it for, and both people are happy with what they're getting, it's only going up. Why would that slow down? Why would that go down? Explain that to me. The sellers at Collecticon, they feel they're offering a service that needs to be valued over market price. You used to go to shows to get deals over market price. From the ones I talked to, their feeling is, well, you don't have to wait for it. You get your item right now in hand. You don't have to worry about getting scammed. You don't have to worry about any shipping. You don't have to worry about, anything you have to worry about with online sales. You get everything right here. Yeah, we charge a little bit over market. Even if you want to work them a deal, right? A deal now. You want to buy multiple items from them, spend multiple thousands, if not over 5 figures. You want to pay cash. Yeah, you might get a little under market. Nothing like we see before. You're not getting 85%. You're not even probably getting 90%. The sellers know what they have and they're not letting go of it. They'll pack it up, bring it to the next show where it will sell. They'll list it online where it will sell. The buyers, they're not balking at the prices. They're saying, okay, I want it. Give me it. Here's the cash. That's simple. There's nothing else to it, guys. There's that much confidence in the hobby. What's selling? Sealed, from who I've talked to, was still the best seller at this show. It was mostly booster boxes, booster bundle displays. PC ETBs were doing relatively well. You know what I did see though? A lot of the vendors who had sealed had stacks of collection boxes. Stacks. Evolution boxes. High-end ones, right? Blooming Waters. Sea and Sky boxes. Charizard collection boxes. Not selling. Told you on the channel multiple times. Don't invest in the ancillary items. And what happens is everything will go up and then the collection boxes will go up a little bit with it because the pack price rises and people will say, Alex, you were wrong. And I'll say, was I? Everything's up. How much are you up on Fusion Strike? Why didn't you put all that money in that box instead of all these collection boxes, all this nonsense, right? Of course, some of the boxes are doing well. The Evolution VMAX boxes are doing incredible, but every vendor had those and they didn't see me moving. When I walked around Saturday, walked around Sunday, everyone had them. So they weren't moving at the price points they're going for, but the booster boxes all are. People are still buying Cosmic Eclipse at $5,000. People are still buying Unbroken Bonds at $2,500. People are still paying all of these prices on all of these Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon, and XY boxes. Even Team Up at $10,000. Even Flashfire at $10,000. Even Phantom Forces at $12,000. The boxes are selling. They're selling at those prices. This, in my opinion, only leads to one outcome. Higher prices and a new normal, the likes of which no one understands. I did wake up this morning to a pretty interesting email. Follower, of the channel. So appreciate you following the channel. They're a player. And they were saying, Alex, this really doesn't affect the players the way that a lot of people thinks it does. They said, I can pretty much build any competitive deck for $100 or less, even in this market. And so unless it's people wanting to bling out their decks, unless it's just people wanting to complain, you can pretty much still go play and enjoy this hobby for very, very, very small amounts. And so this isn't affecting the players, guys. This is not affecting the gameplay. It is affecting, obviously, the casual collector, people who just want to open packs. I understand that. But the amount of confidence that I'm seeing in the investor side is higher than I've ever seen. 151, I was personally there with the people that were making large purchases on those. When I say large, I mean, 150 151 bundles, 600 151 bundles. And they were not buying them to flip. They were not stores. They were buying them to invest, buying them to put away and invest. I know people with 1,000 plus 151 bundles already invested in, and you can see the prices. I think the bundles are up to $85, $90. I think the sealed displays are up to somewhere around, $1,200. And you're seeing the effects of it, right? You are seeing the effects of the amount of demand we have with the limited amount of supply. At the same time, you have the streamers. I talked to many streamers when I was there. Surprise, surprise. Every single streamer, 100% of them, every single person that told me they streamed, I asked them the same question. 100% of them answered the same way. And by the way, this is my answer as well. I'm a streamer, right? My number one problem, I can't find enough inventory. Number one problem is not finding customers. The number one problem is not finding customers. It's finding enough product to sell to your customer base. Every single person told me that. a lot of people where they're vending just to try to get enough singles and slabs and other things to run on their streams because they just can't find enough. They literally told me they do shows almost every weekend, whether they be national shows like Collecticon or local shows, in hopes of just picking up singles and slabs. They tell me that packs are getting harder and harder to find every single day, even on Scarlet Violet era, not just Sword and Shield era. Sun and Moon XY, it's already astronomical. No one can find them. It's not just me telling you this, guys. Just because I have a voice on YouTube, I'm just relaying what the community is saying, what they're telling me. This is not to be misconstrued as creating any kind of FOMO, promoting any kind of agenda because Alex wants the hobby to run wild and his stuff to go up. No. I'm just relaying what I was told and what I experienced. That's it. A little other things like a lot of the vendors that I knew and, hung out with, walked around with, hung out at their tables for a long time, just told me that they have no fear of holding things right now. Even, some of the vendors I know, they don't invest. I don't want to say no reason to invest. It's not what they do. They flip 100% of everything. But they were telling me, I'm not afraid of going home with a show without selling out or without selling a lot of my stuff. I don't care. I just pack it up, put it back in my shop, put it back online, bring it to the next show. It'll probably be worth more by then anyways, what they say. But no one is trying to cash out of these shows anymore. No one's taking a bunch of their stuff that's sitting and running to someone else trying to get 80, 85% and cash out, right? Unless that's part of their model, which some people do, right? It's not happening, right? You'll see the Whatnot guys come around and they'll come to a vendor's booth and they'll say, hey, I'll buy you out of your slabs for 80%. And the vendors right now are saying, nah, I'm good. You can keep it. I got cash. Don't care. Guys, that's scary. And like I said, the reason they're so confident is because the customers are coming up and buying it. And so, look, I honestly don't have a prediction of, where things are headed or, when the hobby is going to boom and crash and all that nonsense. But if you ask me what the next 3, 6, 9 months, a year are going to look like, more of the same. More of the same. As Rudy, Alpha Investments put, I think today's price is tomorrow's discount. That's kind of how it feels. We're continuing to see both Sword and Shield, Scarlet Violet boxes reach new highs. We are seeing less and less availability of a lot of these products on the market. If you just watch the TCG Player and eBay inventory from week to week, it's only going down. Meaning there's less and less sellers for the amount of buyers that are willing to buy the stuff. And that is why you see the prices rising. And Pokemon has literally shown they can't print enough. I mean, if you don't think they've been trying to print Prismatic to the ground, you're out of your mind. They just can't do it. Still 100 ETB, right? It's still what? $70 a bundle? Still $10 plus a pack, right? Can't do it. They tried. They're trying. 151. They printed so much 151 over the last couple of years. They have tried everything in their power to dump bundles and dump Blooming Waters and just shove 151 down your throat. Alakazam EX box, Zapdos EX box, take all the 151. People took it. People took it and it's $13 a pack. And it's $90 a bundle. I don't know, guys. It's changed. It's changed my perspective on buying in this market. I haven't been selling, but as you guys know, I haven't been buying as aggressively as I used to. I think I'm going to start buying more aggressively than I have been. I truly believe today's price is going to be tomorrow's discount on a lot of these items. Just not slowing down. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're out.